Welcome back to the channel. The name of the channel is CAD with Mr. Hugh, and we aim to become your favorite AutoCAD resource online. Thanks for joining us, and in today's video, we'll be looking at the design process. In the previous video, we looked at the safety accident report, and in today's video, we'll be moving away from that topic and we'll be looking, as I said before, at the design process. So thanks for joining us, and we'll be starting the video now. The design process is what we're looking at today. Now, in engineering and architecture, the design process is important, even in art, right? And the design process is also important in information technology problem solving and also computer science, computer programming. No, and also art, right? The subject art and design. So we'll be looking at the design process. Now there are 7 steps for solving design problems, right? And again, the design problems can be IT based, computer based, they can be art based, art and design, they can be mechanical engineering problems, they can be architectural design problems, they can be civil engineering problems, okay? So let's look at the 7 steps of solving design problems. The first step is to define the problem, right? Now, to define a problem, this need would come about if you're listing a new product in the market, right? So you have a new shoe, you have a new sharpener, right? So you need to consider the problem that the product is solving, right? You need to take into consideration the consumer's requirements, right? And especially information about the product's functions and features among other considerations. Okay. Now, after you define the problem, you need to gather the necessary information so it can guide your design process, right? So information relevant to the design of the product and its functional specification is obtained by gathering the necessary information. Now, after we gather the necessary information, step 3, so step 1 was to define the problem, step 2 was to gather the necessary information. Step 3 now is to generate multiple solutions, right? Meaning you're going to have more than one design. And from this design, so for example, you're going to have 3 designs to solve the problem, but you're going to choose the best design at the end of the process, right? So we're going to create multiple solutions, 3 or more solutions. Then we're going to test and manufacture, and the marketing teams, yes, would generate multiple alternatives to achieve the goals and requirements of the design, right? So if you have a shoe, right, a sports shoe, then the marketing team will market this sports shoe as a part of the entire design process, right? Step 4 is the communication of the design ideas, right? And how we can do this is by surveying the availability of similar products. So if we are doing a shoe, for example, we look and see what is the availability of similar products in the market, right? And this is what we do at this stage, yes? Then step 5 is the development of working drawings, right? Once the details of the design are clearly identified, the design team uses the design data to produce drawings for the purpose of manufacturing or construction of a prototype. Step 6, we analyze and select a solution, right? And we take into consideration at this stage the cost, the safety, and other criteria for the selection. The more promising alternatives are selected for further analysis. Detailed design and analysis step entails a complete study of the solutions and result in the identification of the final design that best fits the product requirements. Right? So remember the stage 3 where you develop multiple solutions. Here now you're actually choosing your best solution that solves the problem which was defined in step 1. All right, we're moving on now to step 7. So having chosen the best um, design solution, taking into consideration the cost, safety, and the other design criteria which were established previously, we're going to now test the product, right, to see if it fulfills the need or it solves the problem that it is the product is solving, right? So in this stage 7, we're testing and then implementing the solution, right? Also in computer programming, you'll be testing the computer software and you'll be implementing the solution whether in the business place or on a network setting, all right? So a prototype of in step 7, which is the testing and implementation of the solution, a prototype of the design is constructed and functionality tests are performed to verify and possibly modify the design, right? Now, we need to ensure that just like in computer programming, we could write the software, but it would need further improvement because the user, maybe the program is not user friendly, or the the result that the software is producing is not producing the information that the user wants, right? So what we would do in the software engineering is modify and go and modify the program so it can best fit the needs of the client. Okay? Now, if the problem has not been solved based on the requirements which were set out above in the design process, then you'd have to restart the design process, right? So if you built a software in computer science and it didn't solve the problem, you'd have to go back again and start the design process over. It's the same thing in architecture. If you design the building and it's not able to meet the needs of the client or solve the problem, then you'll have to start over and come back with a different design, right? So if you're designing a building, the final building that you see might not necessarily be the only design which was chosen, but they may have designed 3 designs and they chose the optimal design based on cost, safety, and the different criteria for selection which they would have um, documented above in the design process. So this brings us to the end of the design process, and there were 7 steps, and the 7 steps are to define the problem, to gather relevant information, generate multiple solutions to solve the problem, communication of the design ideas, right? Development of working drawings, and the analysis and selection of the selected design, And the last step is to test and implement the solution to see if it solves the problem. If it didn't solve the problem, as I said before, you'd have to restart the design process. Thank you for joining us. And in the next video, we'll be looking at the business plan. We are now at the end of today's video. We thank you so much for joining us today. And we're looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Please take care until we meet again. And please remember to subscribe and like the video. Thank you.